Hello beautiful people, it's Cinderella. Welcome to the channel. Today we're back again with another video and still on the Blake Lively and the Justin Baldoni situation. We're going to be checking this video. The real tea is here and it's out. I mean, if you are not ready for this tea, I don't know about you, but the real tea is out. I repeat, the real tea is out. So we're going to check a couple of videos that have got the real tea. And if you're not following Candace Owens, rush up to go follow her or check her stories. Obviously, by the time you may have seen or you must have seen this video, her stories may have been out or the post must have been out of her stories. But don't worry, we got you, we got you, we got you. So we're gonna be checking a couple of videos that are gonna be giving you the tea or who is the orchestrator of this, because we have been saying this all along. But let's get right into the video. But before we check the video for the real tea, I just want to say that somebody also pointed this out and left a comment for us to go check it, which is quite interesting, which I'm also going to post here for you guys to see the real tea. I don't want to say it but I just want you guys to hear it for yourself. Let's dive right into the video.
Is he the big bad monster in this case? Or is it him? Yeah, y'all remember that video? Do you remember that video I made, the first video I made about the monsters? There's some tea, and when I say thank you so much for continuing to tag me in posts and keeping me updated so that I can keep y'all updated, check this. This is piping hot tea! Like, I'm talking about fresh. Let's sip, shall we? Candace Owens just posted a lengthy tea time on her Instagram saying that she allegedly has a source who worked on the set of It Ends With Us. Lately, everyone is bashing Blake Lively, but apparently the true villain is Ryan Reynolds. This person is alleging that everything started when Ryan Reynolds decided to stroll onto the movie set one day and review the dailies. The dailies is kind of like looking at all the footage that you filmed that day. So like the tapes from that day, live footage. This is an industry term. Oh, then they explain what it is. He then also decided to take a look at the script, and between the two, something set him off. This person claims, and I cannot verify, that the production assistants then overheard Ryan and Blake having an argument in their trailer. I screen grab every single one, just the juiciest ones, but y'all go over to Candace Owens' IG. Oh my gosh. Ryan Reynolds started being on the set on a regular basis as if he were her chaperone, and that is when he started inserting himself into the actual production, including writing lines. And again, as we all know, this is not the first time Ryan Reynolds has used his character to humiliate someone he didn't like. There is an interview with Miller, who played in the Deadpool and was directed, and they talk about how Ryan would go off and then say that he was like just acting, or he would do very unhinged things, and people were like, no, he's not well, like that was not acting, like that was not cool, like my source says that Justin Baldoni is legitimately a good guy who truly wanted to do this project, but he cares deeply about women's issues. Wherever Studios was meant to be a feel-good family movie studio. With all of this information, when you reflect on just how much Ryan inserted himself into the film and his weird pattern of acting his personal frustrations out, the following clip is going to be really weird. Ryan did this to help promote It Ends With Us, and he brought in Hugh Jackman. And then they show the clip of him doing PR for the like for It Ends With Us, you know, when he did that interview acting like the jealous husband with Brandon, which is very bizarre, and everyone realized how extremely tone deaf that was because the movie is about DV. So to have a jealous husband doing the press, like it just, none of it really made sense. Like none of it really made sense, babe. Imagine being Justin Baldoni in the midst of all the drama that we now know is happening behind the scenes. Blake's husband then decides to create a funny skit with another one of his A-list buddies to promote your film. Like, I know, my heart breaks for Justin. I think Blake was fine with everything in the movie. She signed on for it. That's why she didn't request an intimacy coordinator on some of the scenes, like the dance scene. And then that all changed the day her husband showed up to set and allegedly blew a fuse. Again, y'all, this is all alleged. It's some tea from Candace Owens. We don't know who the source is yet. But if I haven't been screaming jealousy from the beginning, jealous husband, it just seemed like, you know, and I take it back, like Blake, if you were acting in that dance montage, nah, like, meh. I don't know. The whole thing is a little bit crazy. But maybe she was uncomfortable because Ryan was coming in to see the dailies. This is gonna get very, very, very interesting. And if any of this is true, Blake, choose you, baby. Choose you, okay? Choose you.
OMG. She has been saying the or screaming the jealous husband, and it's the exact same thing we've been saying on this channel over and over again. Talk about the jealous husband, insecurity, and all. I mean, if any of this is true, oh my goodness. And we also said something like the dailies, her request for the dailies, and the fact that the husband wrote a scene and decided to come it in the on the movies in the movie sets. Oh, okay, okay. You guys remember it? Okay, that's interesting. Quite interesting. Let me know what you think.
I'm back home, and baby, let me tell you something. Just shout out to my people, my tribe. Y'all are my people. Y'all are my tribe. Look, don't ever feel bad if you like blowing up my mentions, because I look at it. I do. I look at it and I sort through what's worth talking about and what's not worth talking about. But honey, I got some tea for you, and this tea is boiling. It's boiling so much that it is just spilling over on the stove. And this came out within the hour. Check out what I pulled off of Candace Owens' stories. We're gonna talk about it because it don't change shit, okay? We're gonna dissect this and we're gonna talk about it, but it don't change a motherfucking thing that we have been discussing. But I tell you right now, my people, my tribe, my people, y'all, my people, y'all was right. Y'all was right.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
Well. To my people, to my tribe, y'all called it. Y'all called it. And as soon as y'all told me that he was a Scorpio, I was like, yeah, you're right. But it don't change a motherfucking thing. Blake Lively is not the victim. She's a willing, complicit participant in her little demented ass marriage. But one thing I do know about Scorpio men, they are possessive, they are controlling, they are toxic to a certain degree, but they are extremely insecure when other men are interested in their women. And they have this expectation that women should shrink themselves and revolve their entire agency and autonomy around them. So that makes sense on why Blake Lively's career took a tank after she got with him. But let me show you more. Now it explains why she wanted to see the dailies every single day. It wasn't her who wanted to see the dailies, it was him. It also explains why his agency dropped him so fast. Without even looking at the information, without him even giving his side of the account, it was like, whoop. And you know what? His pick-me-ass co-host, whose name I refuse to learn, who can't seem to move past her trauma, I know she feels like a complete and total asshole right now. And if I was Justin and Jamie, I would not fuck with her. Do not take her back. I don't care how many years you've known her. Do not take her back. And Colleen, oh, don't worry. That video is coming soon because her body language wasn't sitting right in my spirit. On why she betrayed him for Blake Lively and Ryan. Oof, child. But this does not absolve Blake Lively. Blake Lively is 100% complicit in this entire thing. She is not the victim, okay? She's not. Because she's a grown-ass woman. And because she allows her husband to control her agency and autonomy and control her career and control every aspect of her, this does not absolve her. I don't give a fuck how many babies he puts up in her. She can control her womb. So stop infantilizing her. Oh, but it gets uglier. A lot uglier. And check this out. I tell you this much, being backed by a billionaire has this person benefits, especially a billionaire who's philanthropic. Okay, but let's continue. I got more to show you. You know what's fucked up about this whole situation is it could have been any actor. It had nothing to do with Justin Baldoni and everything to do with Ryan Reynolds' insecurity and his need to control and possess his wife. Had absolutely nothing to do with Justin Baldoni. That could have been any actor. and he ended up being served on a platter for collateral damage. So this whole sexual harassment was just fabricated because Blake Lively is married to an insecure creep and a weirdo. So here are my final thoughts in 2 cents. Based off of the information that's provided, the evidence that has been provided, and reading through all 4 legal documents and court case files, antebellum Barbie with the dry split-in hair fabricated allegations of sexual harassment to deflect the fact that she disrespected her marriage. Yeah, let's call it what it is. And while people are trying to paint this narrative that she is a victim of a controlling husband, she's been with that man for 14 years. She knows that man better than we know that man. She knows the intimate thoughts and mechanisms of that man. And what I see is a woman playing a very dangerous game, disrespecting her marriage by using her job, part-time job, to do that, to live out some type of fantasy, to feel sexy again, to feel wanted again, because, you know, she just had a baby. She just had a baby, and when you are postpartum, you don't feel sexy, you don't feel desirable, you don't feel wanted. And for another man who is not your husband, even though he was acting and doing his job and it wasn't even real, to make you feel like you're the sexiest woman in the room, yeah, that shit went high and left. Because she doesn't know how to act, and she does not know how to separate acting from real life. So not only is she disrespecting her husband, but she sat there and ruined the reputation of another man. Oh, and let's not forget, she stole his movie and hijacked his premiere and made it seem like she was just this victim and she's so helpless and he's the big bad man that made her feel so uncomfortable. She stole a movie and tried to ruin that man's life, ruin that man's livelihood. She is not a fucking victim, but she's playing an extremely dangerous game. She has no regards for anybody but herself. And it really goes to show where her marriage is standing right now, too. But let me know what you think.
Absolutely true. It still does not make her the victim because I mean she's been with this man for how long? So she knows him. Remember when she was the scene we saw with her talk and Justin Baldoni talking about their spouse, and kept on talking about her husband, how the both of them would be talking rather than staring or looking deep into the eyes. Oh yeah. Remember, and this is what we've been saying: jealousy, insecure partner, competitive, and we've also said something about making an example of like to make sure nobody tries or looks at his wife, or we've said it in, I think it was in previous videos past. I'm glad this is whether, I mean, these are all alleged, but I mean it's quite interesting. I remember his ex also talked about jealousy, insecurity, and all that. Oh, do you think jealousy and insecurity just flies away when somebody new comes into the relationship, knowing that the both of you met on set? Woo, okay. Okay, remember the patterns here? Okay. Talk about the dailies, talk about rewriting the scenes, and remember the dragons, right? Let's not forget the dragons because I mean the dragons are gonna be for better or worse, but in this case for better. And when the better got past it, it became worse. So remember when we talked about the orchestrators, the behind the scenes, the dragons. Let's not forget it. Let me know what your thoughts are.
At the end of all this, I personally am going to sue Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni because their whole feud has me agreeing with Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens. So your comment is actually what brought to my attention Candace Owens' story. So I went over and I took a look. Wow. Sorry, couldn't resist the millennial zoom. Basically, Candace Owens has insider information, an anonymous source who claims that the real bad guy in this whole feud is Ryan Reynolds, allegedly. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is just show you her stories. You can also just go directly to Candace Owens' Instagram account and then go to her stories. It's like the bulk of her stories. It's going to take you some time to read through. So even right now, I'm going to go ahead and play for you, but it's going to be sped up. So you're going to want to press pause or slow it down. And then, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, excuse you. As for my opinion on it, I don't know. Really interesting information, and it certainly falls in line with a lot of the narratives we're seeing on TikTok regarding this whole situation, because, you know, if you look at Be Better's breakdown, he kind of was the first person to put it in my head that This might be a jealous husband type of situation. Does it make sense? Sure. Am I waiting to see also what lawyers and people with more expertise have to say? Also, yes. But here you go.
No, we had a really weird moment on Deadpool where he said, let's do one more take. And we were going to find. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me. But to me, as if I'm Weasel. So he was like, you're not a star. Just, you just have that position that's funny and you need to get back to the I'm sure. That's exactly why I said that. I'm not feeling as well. I haven't been motivated. I think that's why everything was done. A lot. And it's way across. And a lot. And that's what they kept saying that the reels, a lot is what he's doing. I'm ready to the writers were so incredible. But that's what was that's how it ended. I just kind of listened and thought it was weird. And then I got off stage and I cut. And then I got to walk over and the whole crew was acting weird. And then I was like, that's weird, right? Of course it's weird. It's insane. It was insane. Everybody was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Actually, lots of people have been calling it to say insecure spouse and all that jealousy. I mean, we've also said it here on this channel that we see jealousy at play because why is your husband coming to your office and taking over, berate? Remember the part where the fat shaming and berating Justin Baldoni? Because make it make sense. I've asked this question: if somebody fat shame your wife or your girlfriend or whatever as a man, would you angrily talk down or shout at them the way or you yell at them? Obviously not. And we said it because I mean that fat shaming, that humiliating, berating is a lot more to think like it's just fat shame. I beg, waiting past that one. But again, now we see it. And let's also not forget that this SH claim, ooh, you see what we've all been saying all this while? So just to destroy his reputation or to teach him a lesson and make him an example. And that is what we've been saying. Now, let's not forget about his ex. We're going to cover his ex. I think somebody also made a video talking about it. So we're also going to cover that later. Let me know what you think, obviously.
Ryan Reynolds is a good guy. By good guy, I mean he's exceptionally good at making it look like he's a good guy. Allegedly, somebody who worked on the It Ends With Us set reached out to Candace Owens and gave her this tip. Apparently, the true villain in the saga is Ryan Reynolds. The person alleges that Ryan Reynolds decided to stroll on the set one day and review the dailies, an industry term for all the footage that they filmed for that day. Allegedly, he didn't like what he saw in the dailies and the raw film, and Ryan and Blake had an argument in her trailer. And that is allegedly when Ryan Reynolds started being on set more regularly. At this point, we've all seen the nice pool video. We all know that it seemed like Ryan Reynolds was trying to act like Justin Baldoni and humiliate him, at least in my opinion. Allegedly, Ryan Reynolds presented an ultimatum to WME. It's us or it's him, and that is why I think that they dropped Justin Baldoni as their client. They also had Taylor Swift on as their client, as well as Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. What kind of dragon situation do you think happened there? Let's not all act shocked that Ryan Reynolds isn't a great guy. It's not too big of a mental leap to think about this guy not being so great and upstanding when we all think we know what happened with Scarlett Johansson. I mean, Scarlett even said it herself. There could be competition in your marriage when one person is more successful than the other. Let's not forget about his engagement to Alanis Morissette. Why don't you just go Google Torch and those lyrics? Just read them.
Yes, we're going to cover that. The Google, I mean, we saw somebody talking about it or somebody made mention of it, which we're also going to check, which is quite interesting. But again, let's not forget that lots of people already called this in, talk about the insecurity and all that jazz and everything. But this is quite interesting because we're not seeing this play. I mean, it's alleged, by the way, but I mean, it is somehow close to the truth. But obviously, I'm going to let you look at the I'll take a look at the screenshots from Candace Owens's Instagram. If you're not following her, I mean, you this should be your cue. But obviously, by the time you go over to our Instagram, this story may not be there. So you can look at it, go through it for yourself, and let me know what you think. Don't forget, XOXO, Gossip Girl.